it through Photoshop. I tried to see.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
the one that people. I remember this one. This is the one that people kept saying that there is possibly a smoke machine in the works.
Um, Look, at this point, I expect Mr. Fusion to work. I mean, Jesus, they keep
Oh,
adding so much upgrades and just it's wild. It's honestly wild. Andre, look at that. Everybody's showing up here. Everybody's panicking. Everybody's fearful, as you should be. This is what this is what we've been working on for quite a while here.
that's all we were waiting for.
This
Yes.
is it. This is it. Let me see if I can change the layout. Why is the layout so different here? StreamYard did something here. No, I don't like that layout. How
You know,
about
you
this?
can customize it too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know, but why?
there's a new
Maybe.
feature right now.
Yeah, I don't really want. Okay, let me. Why is it acting so weird? I don't know. Let me. I'll hold on. Let me see if I can do this here really quick. It's making the images small though. So let me see. Oh, you know what? Let's see if I can stretch this out. Maybe that's what it is. There you go. Let's see if this works.
Enhance.
Enhance. It didn't do it though. It's crazy. Oh, here you go. Hold on. Maybe this one here. There you go. How
Oh,
about that?
yeah, I like that.
There
There,
you go.
there you
There
go.
you go.
There you go.
That seems to work. Uh
Oh, the man, the myth, the legend.
Savon Mason, are you going to
Overdrive.
buy a used 2007 Honda Civic with 150,000 miles on it, or the Blitzway Delorean? And it will be the same price. I don't know. I think it'll be a lot more than a used 2007 Civic. There's a survey. I don't know if you put in your input there, but there's a survey at
Oh,
the
that's right.
beginning
Let me put it in right now.
of this live stream, because I'm gonna keep it on for another 10 or 15 minutes, and because I want to gauge the community. I want to see if the community, if they're living in the clouds, if they're suffering from delusions of grandeur, or if they're actually putting down their best educated guess as to what price point is going to, right? In the nicest way, right, Nate? In the nicest way, right? I mean,
Yes.
is the community, are they being serious, or are they being flaky sons of bitches? I mean, that's what it is now. There's a lot of finger pointing now. I want to start off. Look, folks, the Blitzway Delorean 1/6 scale. They've given us a date. It is March the 20th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Pacific. My time is when they're going to do their unveiling. Let me see if I can shoot this one here. Right there.
Oh, they had a trailer.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh my god. The sound effects too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know you folks it's going to be hard to believe, but I predicted the digital LED. I was calling this. I was talking to my buddies. I told you this, right, Nate?
You did.
I told you. I go, when they teased the leather seats, I go, oh, the gloves are off. I go, my biggest fear is the digital LCD, because I
Digital
knew,
LCD.
yeah, the LCD where you can type in the actual time circuits. I knew that if they were going to do that, it was going to invite an app, and I hate the app. The fact that I don't see any way to get around being able to type in the circuits without having some sort of app, unless what you suggested, maybe a manual control.
Yep.
I don't see that happening. I don't, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but as a cost cutting measure, if you're gonna give us an interactive time circuit where you want the fans, right? You want me to sit in the floor. I'm going to be like a big kid. I'm going to pretend like I'm typing in the circuits. The most logical, the path of least resistance is going to be an app.
I'm a big kid now.
I just don't. I mean, what do you were you suggesting, like the actual remote control?
So Nowadays when they introduce an app, they usually in some cases provide you a alternative. Like one of my newer um s- automatic sliders, or they have like a manual control where I can like direct an input of an automatic position of the slider to go from point A to point B through the controller. But also there's an app portion of it as well that came with
Yeah.
the actual um camera slider. So it's not too far fetched to believe that Blitzway would probably provide that as well. If most people can't have access to the app, they can do the controller with it, and I could see them doing a controller to come with this. We've seen toys before where they have controllers to activate certain lights and sounds. Like
Yes. Yes.
if-
I remember. Look,
for
like
come on, for $2,000 over, come on, it could possibly be a controller provided.
let let's not forget though. I mean, and I'll give you an example. Like I told you with the phone, I have the ultimate Mattel Batmobile, the Justice League, and it's an app, and that app hasn't been updated in years, and it only works on my older model phones.
Mhm, mhm.
So that's my fear that they will provide an app so that you can control the time circuits, and they're going to update the app once or twice, and then as you go down the phones, as you travel through the generations of the phones, the
Mhm.
app is either obsolete in the newer phones, or it's only accessible in the older models. I'm telling you, because like I said, the ultimate Mattel Justice Mobile, it only works on my old Android if I
Mhm.
still want to play with it and such. So, but again, I mean, Nate, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, prove me wrong. Give me a manual control. I just don't, unless or you know what, maybe they well, but I don't under so there's a keyboard inside the DeLorean. I just don't see it feasible for us as collectors to type it into the keyboard. Maybe the actual time circuits, the actual button dial keyboard may actually work, but I can see that. I mean, if you have fat fingers, it's going to be a pain in the ass, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be annoying. There's no
Yeah,
way they're gonna do that. No. Mm-mm.
yeah.
Over
So
9,000 weapons. Let's
what's going
go.
on?
OG fan Star Wars and Star
What
Wars.
is going on? But yes, March the 20th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Pacific, we'll get the full unveil, and the whole purpose of this stream is to honestly get a jump on it, because you're going to have to assume the worst, folks. I mean, this thing, I honestly look. Let's jump back into price. Let me see. It's been a few minutes. Let me look at the survey here. Let me see, because I might be closing it. How many votes do we have? There is a survey here I'm looking at, and all right, we've had 49 votes. Let me get a few more votes, and I will close. I'll close the poll. If you guys who are just jumping in, joining in, do the poll, because it's really important, because I honestly want to be able to gauge the if collectors are properly preparing for this. If you are going to be in the market, some of you may not be in the market. Some of you may experience true sticker shock. You may see it, and you may clutch your pearls. And I mean, right? That's gonna be it. I mean, think about it. Be realistic, folks. They've given you a lot of teases. I mean, they've given you once power windows. Be real. Have 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 uh, set your expectations very properly. Don't When they announce the price, don't get bent out of shape, and they're like, "Oh, it's too much. Who the hell is Blitzway?" I was
Who the
expecting
hell is Blitzway?
$1,200, right? You're always going to get these price point haters who are going to leave essentially stupid ass comments. And they're like, "Oh, that's just too much money. Who the hell do you think they are?" Right? And it's just speaking out of experience, and you Blitzway has only ever done what, 2 other 1/6 scale vehicles, and they've done the
Mm-hmm.
Ecto 1,
Yep.
1984,
And the
and
Afterlife.
and then they did the Ecto 1, the Afterlife version. The Ecto 1, the 1984 version, went into pre-order in 2017 for a retail price of $1,400. $1,400. 5 years later, we get the Afterlife, the Ecto 1 Afterlife, and that one retailed for $1,800. Inflation is a bitch. I mean, it's just the world we live in right now. Blitzway has spent what, almost a month now with these lavished teases. They're
Mm-hmm.
showing you that this 1/6 scale vehicle is not only is it going to be the true 1/6 scale, but I mean they're giving you leather bucket seats.
Yep.
The detail alone in this photo screams that my wallet is going to hurt because I can see the actual cable wrappings on the lower part of
Yeah,
the
I don't see
door.
it on mine.
Hot Toys doesn't even do that.
No, I don't see it. I don't see
No,
I don't see it. No. Look at that.
no.
Wow.
Mm-mm. I'm more nervous about the windows being dynamic. I'm sure the comments are going to absolutely be piled on. Well, the windows are going to break. Well, what are you going to be doing? You're going to sit in there and playing with the fucking window
Every
mortar
day. Yeah.
every day, right?
Yep.
I just
Mhm.
I don't get that. I don't buy that for
Just
the one.
don't use it consecutively. All right. Just be mindful of the limitations and just take your time. Don't play around
Mm.
with it too much. Like
That's it. That's it. Back to the Future 2 Time Machine. They're purposely not telling us it's exclusive to the Mark II. This comment, I do not understand. Do you understand this, Nate?
what Kaiju Daddy's trying to say is that they're saying it's called the Back to the Future 2 DeLorean, right?
Yes,
That's
that's
not saying specifically it's the Mark II, because in Back to the Future 2, there was 2 versions of the DeLorean, Mark 1 and Mark 2, in that film. So there is a possibility that Kaiju Daddy is leaning towards the fact that we might see a conversion of both these vehicles in this product. You can have the Mark 1 and the Mark 2.
okay. Okay. That's wishful thinking. I hope that's not the case. I don't expect that to be the case. Conversion just means that it ups the price already. It's exactly what it's going to mean.
If you're theorizing this is going to be well over towards the 3,000 mark, it might as well be 2 versions available to transform into to being the ultimate DeLorean at this point from the time machine.
But I mean, if you make the vehicle right, Nate, if you do the job right, there's no need for. I mean, if you do it,
You want the ultimate, you gotta be willing to pay the ultimate price.
it's gonna. I honestly think it's gonna be the definitive Hero 8 car of the Back to the Future 2. I mean, they tell you that, don't they? Don't they tell you? They purposely, don't they? Where is the? I mean, it tells you right here in the comments. They're not gonna botch it. Blitzway, Back to the Future 2 from the movie 2 Time Machine.
Time machine.
Right? You could even see Mr. Fusion and silhouetted in the back.
Yep.
All right. I don't expect a conversion. It's going to be, this thing already has tons of bells and whistles. To add a plutonium chamber is just going to be just downright silly. This is going to be the hover converted DeLorean. In fact,
it's going to be wishful thinking. It's going to be wishful thinking if we do get 2 versions of this.
It's going to be very wishful thinking. I hope not, because that just affects the price even more. Let me go ahead and close the survey here. Let me switch to the page here, and we have 54 votes. And
DeLorean Tech. This is the guy I've been watching the past few days with his unboxings.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was going down the list of, the accuracies of the DeLorean. from Hot Toys. That's a good point there. They went for the Part 2 car because the license is cheaper than the Part 1.
You think so? I think the license would be the same. I think it's the DeLorean time machine. I think it's really up to the manufacturer's prerogative as to what it would be. So I wouldn't buy. I think the license from Universal City Studios. I think like, look, we want to make the DeLorean time machine, and all right, this is the license.
You would think that the Mark II, because it's the fun car, would be much more expensive and licensed than the Mark One. You know what I mean? Because you have the hover conversion, you get the coolest look out of all three vehicles.
I think it's the fan favorite. I think it's the one that most people resonate with.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a very smart choice on their part out of all three versions of the time machine to go with the one that is the most popular. I've always said it. The most popular version of the DeLorean time machine is the Mark II, as seen in Part 2, as it flies. It was heartbreaking to see it get neutered in Part 3. I mean, even though I enjoy Part 3, I enjoy the wheels and the railroad track and such. It was still kind of heartbreaking as a kid watching that. But Part 2 is always going to be the one. And I have total confidence. I mean, they've teased us with power windows. They've teased us with a real working LCD interactive screen there. You can type in the circuits. I predicted that even before that. I was like, that's going to be. They teased real working blinkers. So if you're going to be able to turn left or right and activate those blinkers, that tells me that this thing has essentially power steering. When you turn the steering wheel. But see, I don't understand. This is the part, like you have left and right turn signals there. I don't know in a engineering standpoint how you would get those wheels to turn if it has the hover converted mode. So this is going to be a surprise. Like, how are you going to pull this little engineering miracle off? Because once those hover, but maybe they figure something out. Oh, you know what? Can the Mark II Hot Toys in hover mode? Can the front wheels turn left or right? I don't want to get up.
In hover mode?
No, like in drive mode. Can the wheels turn left or right?
Let me see.
No, but with the actual manual, can you actually take your hand?
Hey.
Does it turn? It does?
It's turning.
Okay, so then you know what? Then Blitzway is going to crack the engineering code on this.
Yeah, it's turning. Right.
Okay, and it has hover mode. So
yeah,
then I'm now confident that Blitzway is going to be able to crack that code. Yeah. Between the leather seats, between the power steering, it's the work in LEDs. So the survey. Let's look at this survey here. 50% of you. It was 54 votes. 54 votes. Majority of you feel that this thing is going to retail for $1,800. 31% of you feel that it's going to retail for $2,300. 20% of you feel $2,600, and 9% of you are $3,000. I don't think the community is ready for this, Nate. If half of you feel, and it's a small little sample of a survey, but it was just to kind of get an idea. If half of you feel that this thing is going to retail for $1,800, you guys are going to be, I think, emotionally let down. Realistically, yeah. My prediction. This is my prediction, and man, God, I hope I'm wrong. All right, I'm going to do my prediction, my best educated guess, and Nate's going to do his. My best educated guess is that this thing is going to retail for $24.99. Retail, not including tax and ship. Once you add tax and ship, depending on which retailer you go through, I predict the total final price will be close to $3,000 for this thing. Based on the way Blitzway has been heading through the years, owning the actual both versions of the Ecto 1, Blitzway has a habit of over-engineering their 1/6 scale vehicles. And if you don't own a Blitzway vehicle, it's hard for you to kind of grasp especially if you're a new collector and your first entry into a 1/6 scale vehicle is Jazz Inc. Ooh, sorry.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry. I mean, go on. I mean,
Brother,
come
ew.
on.
Oh,
Come
no.
on. Hey, he's the one. He didn't Jazz Inc. They wanted to make a DeLorean, right? He boasted that Hot Toys. What when I was
Danoby
instigating the
finds a way.
license, right? Can you imagine if Jazz Inc. did the DeLorean? Get the fuck out! Come on. Let's be real, Nate.
You're never gonna let it go, Danoby. You're never gonna let it go.
I'm not gonna let it go. No, 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 no. If it's 3K, they can kick rocks. I mean, you can enjoy it through my unboxing. That's gonna.
Well, at that point, if it's at 3K, right?
I don't think so. I mean,
I don't. No. I think 3K should be the cap of start getting your foot on the door at least.
Your turn, Nate. Your turn. Your best educated guess.
So I'm feeling it's not going to be 1,800 without shipping and tax because that was the Ecto one in 2021. And we've already passed that.
It was a reissue.
Yeah. So we've already passed that with freaking tariffs and damn inflation, what have you, right? So I'm feeling we're gonna get hit with that possibly a $2,200, $2,300 price tag on it, and then we're gonna get hit with the shipping and tax. We'll bring it up to at least what 25. Something like that nature. I feel that it's going to be the starting point to be like 23. That's my guess.
You figure your best guess is going to be 23 retail, and then wherever you decide to go through tax and ship, we'll bring in about $2,600.
Yeah, around there. So for the looks of it, if you're going to have at least 3K, starting, so you can you have that that bubble that you could get into.
Wow. We still don't even know if the exterior body is going to be mostly ABS composite or if it's going to be die cast. We know that the internal structure, I can guarantee you right now, the internal structure of this vehicle will have die cast components. I can absolutely guarantee that. I just don't know if they're going to go balls to the wall exterior with true die cast. So that I'm not too I mean, it's been done by other manufacturers. It's been done by the Danoby DeLorean. The Danoby DeLorean, the 1/10 scale, that's the exterior of that frame was all die cast. So that's it. I look at all that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's less than $2,500 retail.
Have they hinted this is going to be die cast?
Yes, they told me. I emailed them and they told me.
Ooh.
They told me it was going to be a combination of die cast and ABS plastic. They were very secretive with me when I was talking to one of the reps, as he wouldn't answer if the exterior would be die cast complete. But he did tell me. Yeah, but even if he didn't tell me that through the email, I still would have assumed because the Blitzway Ecto ones have die cast. They are heavy as shit. They're just heavy.
It's heavy.
Yeah, very, very heavy vehicles. That's why my best conservative was 3,000 once tax and ship, because we don't know where the world is heading with tariffs, and we seem to be pissing everybody off around the world. So I don't know by the time this thing gets released, and yeah. I mean, it'll be a true blitz when it finally starts to ship, right? We're gonna have to parachute down to these countries and I'm gonna have to turn into a coyote, right? And smuggle this to avoid the tariff. I mean, come on, Nate, we're going through the mountains. I got hiking experience. I'll take, we're gonna get this across the border somehow to avoid some of the, we're gonna coyote this. If it's all diecast, retail 3,000. The point of this live stream is honestly I told this to Nate a couple nights ago. Is like, look, I feel like we should do our due diligence and kind of help out the community and kind of help properly set the expectations, because I know there's going to be idiots out there that are going to bitch and moan about the price point. They're going to like, this thing is only worth $1,500, and they don't understand what you're getting as far as value, and also in the world we live in right now. So that's why I'm like, I am mentally preparing for a $2,500 retail price.
But here's another thing too. Even if this is $2,500 out the door, right? Shipping and tax. You already have the DeLorean Mark II and Mark III out there in the markets. You already got the $800 DeLorean. If that's fancies you, there you go. If Blizzard's going to drop a $2,500 Mark II DeLorean with all whistles, add it for folks that want the ultimate DeLorean.
Yeah, this ain't for everybody. This is clearly not for 16-bit FPV. This is not. If you're already doing the dance, this isn't for you. We got Hot Toys, right? Let's talk about that, because we look the Hot Toys Mark II. With a snap of a finger, Nate, we know it's going to be the poor cousin. We know it's going to end up being liquidated. So the Blitzway Ultimate 40th Anniversary Edition with all the bells and whistles, this is not going to be for everybody. So Hot Toys Mark II, right? And here's the kicker too. Out of all three versions that Hot Toys did with the DeLorean, the Mark II is the one that they really did a botch job on. I mean, they did a fantastic job on the Mark III. Like, I couldn't find a lot wrong. Other than pettiness of a hubcap. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Give a fuck about that.
Well, even though they botched the Mark II's release, right? It's still fetching twice as much in the resale market right now. For now.
Yeah, for now. Let's set those expectations right for now. Right? Let me do a quick search. Mark Toys DeLorean Mark II. See if I can pull it up here.
And even though this is going to be the poor cousin, it still looks nice. There's nothing wrong to having the poor cousin in your collection. Okay.
This is where you have to, and it's easy for you to say that now, right? And I get it. And my thoughts and prayers to those that I'm not going to sell my Mark II. I had too much fun. I have no plans to sell my Mark II, but I understand psychologically and emotionally, you're going to see it as an inferior product once the Blitzway is released. Again, just for what they've teased: leather seats, working blinkers, power windows, right? A working time circuit dashboard. You're not going to look at your Hot Toys in the same way. You're going to look at it as something like from Diamond Select, or even worse. You'll see it as a NECA product. Ew. Ooh. It's just that's how our minds work. We're always going to want the better. We're always going to want it. You're going to see it as NECA. You're going to be like, oh, let's hide you under the bed.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's what's going to happen. I just had the results here. Let me see if I can pull this up.
The results are in.
You're looking at this, and I mean, look at this. For now, the Part 2 brand new with free delivery, $12.50 seems to, and that's what they're asking for, which I think it's a pretty good deal. I mean, anybody that's educated in this world of 1/6 scale collecting, you need to hit the escape button. You need to jettison. If you are looking to reinvest, now would be the time to liquidate. Don't wait until Blitzway does their mega unveiling and you decide to list yours, because what's going to happen is that the market's going to get flooded, because everybody's going to think the same way you do. You're going to want to fundraise. You're going to want to raise capital. You're going to want to figure out a way, because I think these prices are going to drop. I think after the Blitzway announcement, if you're able to score, if you're able to sell it, and if somewhat break even, that would be a Christmas miracle. That would be a miracle in itself. If you can just even get what you put into it. Not even count. I don't think you'll make a profit after the Blitzway. I'm telling you, it is going to be that disruptive. It's going to be that destructive. It's going to hurt a lot of collectors' feelings. It's that's what I'm anticipating. Remember last year during the holidays when I was trying to plan and prep during the holiday season? Everybody kept, like, you were buying all that shitty clone troopers and all that crap. Remember that?
Respect
Remember
the
that?
the RTTRTs. Okay.
Remember, I looked into the future. Remember my no nut pre-order pledge of 2024? I was embracing the future. I knew, I go, this thing is going to come in.
Keep by your hash labs, my good sir.
You know? Yeah, but I was already whittling down my pre-order. I was already determined. You know, I have my HasLabs, but regardless, while everybody was, while you were buying those multiple clones or whatever and all that, you know, what's Hot Toys coming out with now? Toon Troopers from the Rebels?
The two stormtroopers, yes.
Toon Troopers, right?
From the Toon World.
No.
Towns.
Toontown. Yeah, no.
Stormtroopers.
No. But I mean, this is it. I mean, like $1,200 or best offer. I mean, you're getting, I'm telling you, after March 20th, looking at this again, it's as a collector, you're gonna want.
I need to buy that stand there.
What's that?
I need to buy that stand, that clear stand to show off the hover conversion better. Yeah, I need to buy that.
Yeah, we haven't even. I mean, think about it. The hover conversion on the Hot Toys Mark II was the biggest, in my opinion, the most botched nightmare. I had to fix it, and there are collectors out there that are okay with the way the actual light in the actual light from those wheels. It's weak as shit. It's stupid that the light illuminates from the top.
Yeah,
like
they do. Look.
It's
Yep.
I can promise you that if Blitzway is going above and beyond in making this ultimate 40th anniversary DeLorean, I'm going to assume that they're going to get the proper lighting done right for the wheels when it's in hover mode, and they're not going to have light bleeds protruding vertically from the wheels. Like, to me, that was the most stupid, idiotic. That was the first thing I fixed when I USB hacked my DeLorean. That doesn't make any sense. So
hopefully Blitzway have learned their lesson.
Yeah, and it's things like that that's going to make, I promise you, Nate, it's going to make the Hot Toys Mark II DeLorean look like the shitty poor cousin. It is. You're going to look at it and you're going to be like that one scene from Toy Story where it's Woody. He's like, you're no longer, remember he drops Woody in the trash can? Yeah.
Nightmare.
That's it. That's exactly what's going to happen. They didn't get the hover converted lights properly. They didn't get the exhaust thrusters properly. I promise you. I would expect that the thrusters in the Blitzway DeLorean are probably going to be properly illuminated from top to bottom. And you're going to see stuff like that. And then you're going to go like this, and you're going to look at the Hot Toys and Blitzway, and you're like, oh, time to liquidate.
Time to liquidate. Which most likely will happen. Collectors do this all the time. They sell their supposed poor cousin for the upgrade.
That's going to be it. Now,
I am the upgrade.
Uh,
I need to grab that clip from the boys.
no. Now, I thought about it, and I would say the best action plan I have, Nate, for collectors to be able to swing this, it's going to be I don't see
Oh
any other
my
way.
God, Danoby.
You're going to have to pull those pants down to the ankles. That's it, and let Blitzway take a crack because I I did that one for you, Nate. That was for
Oh my God, Danoby.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
No. Gilberto, because I have no space. You find space. You liquidate those Marvel Legends or those Black Series, whatever you got. You find the space for the ultimate prize. Gilberto, no, that's unacceptable. No, not doing it. Let me see. Here we go. Big pound one. Ash, I'm not falling for the Blitzway hype. I was saying having a real car is better than chasing this collectible. You're not ready for the future, big pound one. The future is scary. I mean, you have to embrace it. It's not going to be for everybody.
The futurist, gentlemen.
Yeah,
The futurist.
yeah. I tell you what, though, it's gonna be disruptive. You know, can you imagine? Imagine having the Blitzway DeLorean on your shelf next to like a Jazz Inc. Batmobile. Ew. Can you imagine? Like, no, brother. Oh, no.
That was a no Diddy.
That's it. That was it. That's it. That's how you're gonna have to cut yourself out for the Blitzway DeLorean because you know, it's either it's either that or there's gonna be like a chorus line of fucking collectors tap dancing liquidate, go for the ultimate prize. I don't want to see collectors showing off their display with like the Blitzway Ecto 1, the Hot Toys, and several of the Jazz Inc. 3D printed vehicles and not have the Blitzway DeLorean. You got to have it. You have to have it in your collection.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But
go ahead.
Danoby, what if this is 3K?
You find a way. Life
Find a way.
Life finds a way.
You're gonna have to sacrifice some of them Jurassic World dinosaurs coming up.
Life finds a way. I don't look. I'll be the first. I'll confess with you folks out there. I absolutely would love to own 2 of them. I would absolutely love to own 2 of them. Clearly, that's going to depend on the price point because I will move things around. I will pull money out of savings without her trying to look. I will figure I'll move things around. I'll liquidate. If it's possible to own 2.
Are you out of your damn mind, Danoby?
But I don't know yet. I don't know because if my prediction of 25 plus tax, I'll probably be capped at 1. I'll probably.
So, but they called me a madman when I bought 2 of the hover conversions. They called me a madman. They're going to call you, dear Lord, have mercy.
I have 2 of every DeLorean, of every Hot Toys.
Well,
DeLorean.
yeah, you're right. You got 2 of those.
I do. I mean, there's one right up here. I mean, there's one up here, and then the rest are down here. So I love the Hot Toys DeLoreans. I do. I love them all. Even the broken child of the Mark II, it didn't stop me from USB hacking. But of course, not everybody has the skills, because I enjoyed it. Like, I saw all the ugly flaws in the Hot Toys Mark II, but if anything, it motivated me and it challenged me to bring it up to spec, right? To bring it up to the vision and the look that I want. So I mean, if Blitzway's gonna ask for 2,500 or 3K, I'm expecting perfection. But of course, this is Blitzway though, and I'll be honest with you, Blitzway does have a history of QC.
You know, 2,500. Pretty much, you got to sacrifice a Hot Toys line. Like, there you go. That's pretty much a Hot Toys line at that point. Like, I think it was about 25 3K for at least the whole No Way Home line.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, 45. Before we continue, folks, special thanks for sponsorship. I did partner up with Electron. For you folks out there who are in the market for a level 2 charger or an adapter, if you drive a Tesla or non-Tesla, Electron does supply accessories and such. I mean, hell, their Teslas in the White House lawn. I can't. This is ridiculous. But anyway, did you saw that? But special thanks to Electron for helping to sponsor this this live stream. Tired of dealing with incompatible chargers? Meet the Electron NACS to CCS, the Vortex plug, the ultimate solution for seamless EV charging. With a universal compatibility, this adapter lets you access the Tesla supercharger network using your CCS-equipped vehicle, so you can power up anytime and anywhere. Engineered for fast, efficient charging, sturdy construction, the Vortex plug ensures you get back on the road quicker with zero hassle. On-the-road travel is a must, and having the Vortex plug on board gives you that peace of mind knowing you're always ready to charge. Compatible, durable, and built to last, easy to disengage and connect, it's the must-have accessory for every EV owner. Get yours today and revolutionize your EV experience. Click on the description below. You like that?
That's pretty cool.
All
Fast
right.
charging.
We're moving on to the next topic here on this. You're going to love this one.
Oh, boy.
Distribution.
Oh,
Distribution.
been
Yes.
debating about this for quite a bit.
Distribution. So I don't think Sideshow is going to carry this, folks. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think. Not only is Blitzway creating the ultimate grail, I don't think Sideshow is going to carry it. They didn't carry the Blitzway Afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
So not only is the price point is going to be high, but I anticipate challenges for a lot of collectors acquiring this. So a couple years ago, I got on good authority that the Sideshow Blitzway relationship had diminished. And up until recent last year, Sideshow just started carrying the statues. Sideshow does not carry the full catalog of Blitzway. Blitzway actually makes more than just statues. They make quite a bit. They do. They've had their online store for quite a while now. If I say for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, and I've used the Blitzway Global online store, meaning you are essentially buying from them direct, from Seoul, Korea, where the main company is based out of. Not only is this going to be the ultimate grail, it's also going to be pretty expensive, but it's going to. I anticipate distribution challenges.
Interesting. So, Blitzway's catalog on Sideshow, they do have the newer stuff like the Boys, and they have the Superman quarter scale as well as statues.
Yes. Yes. But if you go directly to their online store, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if hold on one second. Let me remove this. And all right, this is the Blitzway Global Store. I've purchased multiple times here. In fact, right on the header, right there, you'll see the little ticker screen right on top. It says the Back to the Future 2 Time Machine 1/6 scale coming soon. So they're going to be selling it directly. So I've used their site multiple occasions. They have a huge catalog here, folks. They sell, they have an action figure. They have a die-cast, the Wild Robot. There's quite a
Wild
bit.
Robot.
Yeah, there's
Good
quite
movie.
a bit of merch. This is probably going to be the best option for a lot of collectors if Sideshow does not carry. Now, this is your best trusted overseas online retailer. Now, in the US, there's two. There's probably going to be two that you're going to be able to count on. The first one is going to be Spec Fiction. Spec Fiction's probably going to carry it. For those of you who are not aware, I'm affiliated with Spec Fiction. So you mention my name, you can save $10 off. But Spec Fiction's going to be your probably in the US trusted source. The second one is going to be Big Bad Toy Store. Now, both US online stores have their own issues. They have their own personal issues. The main one for both of them being that they're both slow as shit. Yes, they suck at receiving products on time. While the rest of the world will get something, Big Bad Toy Store will get it 3 months later, and then Spec Fiction, it could be 4 to 5 months later. So they're just very, very slow. There's nothing wrong with Spec Fiction. I trust Spec Fiction. They're really good. A lot of folks aren't going to are going to be okay with waiting, or they're not going to be okay with waiting. Me, I don't want to wait for Big Bad Toy Store, and I don't want to wait for Spec Fiction. I'm going to be pursuing mines directly from Blitzway Global's online store. Now, every option that I mentioned the Blitzway Global store, I've mentioned Spec Fiction, and I mentioned Big Bad Toy Store. They're all, I promise you, will have different price points. Big Bad Toy Store collects sales tax. That friggin' sucks. If this thing retails for $3,000, sales tax, it's going to be a big fat pill to swallow. Not only that, though, but are they still doing their free shipping, or do they charge for shipping now? I haven't purchased anything from Big Bad Toy Store in a long time. Can someone confirm? Do they even offer? Or are they doing the $4 shipping?
I've seen the Fallen Darts shipping. Yeah,
shipping?
I've seen that.
Okay. Now, if they offer the $4 shipping, those clever sons of bitches over Big Bad Toy Store, you know what they do, right? They pad the front end of their retail price to justify their $4. Big Bad Toy Store is notorious for that shit. So let's say if it officially retails for $24.99, it's $2,500, Big Bad Toy Store will probably carry it for $2,700, and then they'll do their little shitty $4 shipping, which is slow as hell anyway. So I hate that. In fact, it's one of the reasons I don't buy from Big Bad Toy Store anymore. I don't. They're slow. I don't like the way they pad things to provide that eye candy. So no, to me, Big Bad Store. Spec Fiction is probably going to give you the best deal. He's going to probably offer you free shipping, and he's probably and Todd over at Spec Fiction doesn't collect sales tax. So if this thing has a sticker price of $3,000, Spec Fiction is most likely going to be your best financial option. Again, the only thing I don't like about Spec Fiction, and I'm affiliated with them, they're trustworthy, they're great, you're going to get the best deal. I don't want to wait 4 to 5 months for the DeLorean while the rest of the world has theirs. I'm gonna want to have mine now.
Also, Pop Culture will most likely have this as well. I've checked, they have the Ecto and Afterlife on their site still.
Okay. And does Pop Culture, do they charge shipping? Do they what is their best financial options for them?
They still charge shipping.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's gonna be the and we'll talk about that, Nate. When they do the unveiling on March the 20th, I'm probably even thinking about doing a live stream the following day just to get our balls in order, get our research done, because I want to know who's going to be able to carry this. Because if Sideshow decides to carry this, it's going to be a game changer for a lot of collectors. If Sideshow does not carry the Blitzway DeLorean, like I told you over the phone, this thing will be an instant guaranteed fucking grail if Sideshow doesn't carry it.
Surprised to be sure, but a welcome one if Sideshow drops it.
The minute that the Blitzway DeLorean arrives in your home and Sideshow did not distribute it, that thing will be worth more than its retail price. Guaranteed. Yeah. Guaranteed. Yeah. Simply because of the accessibility of the distribution from Sideshow. Now, I'm rooting for the fans on this. I'm rooting for the community. I'm rooting for you collectors out there. I'm even rooting personally for myself, because if Sideshow carries it, it makes it a lot easier for me to back too. It just is. I'll do payments on it. I hate doing payments, but I'll do payments if I'm going to back too.
3,000. You might want to consider.
I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's
payment plans.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's not, because I see the value. I see the status of it. Like when this thing's
potential.
Well, you have to assume, Nate. Remember, like, we have to assume this is going to be the one and only time we'll ever see this. If they make more DeLoreans, great. But this could be a one and done deal for all we know. It was a one and done deal for the Ecto One 1984 version, wasn't it?
The 1984 version
of Ecto One. They did one batch and that was it.
Yep. And then they found like extra batches that was never sold, and then they
but it was never. Yeah, they found some old new stock or whatever. Yep. But as far as reprinting the presses, no. Same thing for the Ecto One Afterlife. It's Blitzway typically has a habit of one and done. Again, they could be under new management. It could be a different era. They could be time. But you have to assume that this is going to be the only one-time batch that you're going to get. So,
was there any word about the Ghostbusters 4-pack? Well, that's pretty much a 2.0 at this point with all the.
I can tell you the original 4-pack was expensive as shit. I remember this is in 2017. That 4-pack was $1,000, and I remember the collectors like clutching their pearls at the time when I was on social media on Facebook. I remember it was
pearls.
Yeah, it was $1,000, Nate. This is like 2016 money. $1,000. That was a huge deal. It's a huge friggin' deal. Now $1,400 for an Ecto One is a blessing if you're a welcome blessing if you can get it. But we don't live in that world anymore, right? we absolutely don't live in that world anymore. So it's honestly just about setting the proper expectations. And I think the biggest challenge within the community is going to be distribution. The same circus that the collectors are dealing with InArt, right? I've always said it. InArt's downfall will be their distribution. That's ultimately what's going to shoot them in the foot once if they're able to crack that code or not. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope that Sideshow can pick up the distribution on this.
That would be nice. I'm praying to the gods, the Hot Toys gods, the once they scale gods, that they'd be merciful upon our wallets. That Sideshow will get this.
Yeah. So between expecting the proper price point we talked about, it's early enough that the collectors can prep. Like, you need to decide now, are you going to keep your Hot Toys Mark II? You need to decide that. I would say my best advice to the community right now, you need to decide right now before the 20th, are you going to keep your Mark II? Don't lie to yourself. Don't convince yourself that it'll be fine. That, oh, the Blitzway DeLorean is going to be, it'll probably be better, but I still am happy with mine. I'm telling you, all of that gets thrown out the window the minute you see what this thing is going to be able to do.
Well, it comes to the territory when you're in a collecting hobby like this. Everybody wants the new bells and whistles, right? They will sell what they can quickly as possible. If they end up taking a loss, doesn't matter. That's gonna go towards. I've seen this all the time. I see collectors selling their old Vaders or their old Marvel and Star Wars characters just to pay for the new. It's a cycle, a recycle.
And I sympathize that everybody's on a budget. This is going to be an expensive piece. My thing is, like, stay ahead of it. Be smart. Be prepared. Because the three best options that I provide as far as retailers, I didn't talk about deposits. Yeah. Spec Fiction, he collects anywhere between 20 to 30% deposit.
Oh boy.
So if this thing retails for $3,000 and Todd is having a good day, $3,000, what, 20%, that's going to be a $600 non-refundable deposit. Big Bad Toy Store collects deposits now, right? They don't do that free shit anymore, right?
They collect deposits.
Yeah. Are they generous at 10%, or have they been collected more? I mean, that's something to really, really consider.
I think it's 10%. Let me see. Let me look at my biggest purchase I did with them a few days ago. Let me see.
So I forgot to mention that yes, the Blitzway global online store will have the Back to the Future available for pre-order, but they don't do deposits. They collect full payment up front. So that's going to be a challenge. I can see that being a challenge for a lot of collectors. The Blitzway global store does not collect sales tax, though, but they will charge you for shipping, which is very reasonable. Again, I've purchased multiple items through their store, and it's pretty fair. It's not gouged pricing. So that's going to be something to consider as far as deposits go. Big Bad Toy Store will probably collect deposits, but they usually play it safe with smaller batches now, don't they? So if they do their pre-order window, they may have it may be open for a couple of weeks, and then it'll sell out, and then your options start to limit themselves. So then you're restricted to Spec Fiction. Todd at Spec Fiction collects 20%, between 20 and 30%. And then the Blitzway Global Store and they collect full payment. So it's not going to be easy. This is, again, I'll do a stream.
Big Bad collects 20%.
So 20%. Yeah.
Yep. 20% on a deposit for a pre-order, about 20%.
Yeah. And they don't typically sit on large orders, especially now, because you can still buy the Ecto-1 Afterlife on their site, can't you?
Yes, you can. You still can, but the thing is, the Ecto-1 Afterlife, that's not a pre-order. You got to buy pretty much right now.
I see. Yeah, Were they doing deposits on before, when it was available for pre-order?
I would assume so, possibly. But all I know is I pre-ordered one of my Warhammer figures from them, pre-ordered it, and it's $140 deposit.
Ah.
So It's $700 for the figure, right? And 20% of that is 140. So more than likely, this is going to be a 20% deposit going forward. So that's a rough pill to swallow right there.
It's a huge pill to swallow.
Yep. And
Yeah.
also, well, the thing is, we're getting into statue territory as far as deposits at this point. Like we're in the statue game now, boys and girls. We're in the statue game.
The last thing I'll talk about on this is going to be this right here, and I'm going to call it because I right here. I'm going to put it in right here. Right there, folks.
2 years delivery.
I anticipate a 2-year delivery on this. I would say 1.5 to 2-year delivery. That's my next prediction on this. This is going to be something that's not, don't expect a 12-month delivery window on this. Set your expectations properly. Why is that important? Because with a 2-year delivery, life happens, life changes. You could be in a different situation 2 years from now. This is usually the timeline. The 2-year delivery is usually what takes out a few collectors. Essentially, a year and a half down the road, something happens where they may need a refund or something. But see, that's the other thing too. I don't know if anybody's going to be doing refunds on non-refundable deposits. So I don't.
As an NRD for a reason.
Yeah, I don't. So yeah, I don't foresee that. So if you decide to get cold feet a year and a half down the road after you hit your delivery, like you have to stick the road. You have to stick it, especially if Sideshow does not carry. If Sideshow decides not to carry the purchase order for the Blitzway DeLorean, that's why I know it'll be a guaranteed instant grail upon delivery. Absolutely upon delivery, because it's going to be a very limited, restrictive batch through selected retailers. There's not going to be a lot of these units out in the wild, and that's absolutely what's going to set the price skyrocketing. Especially if they deliver what they say they're going to deliver with just these teases alone. Again, we haven't even seen this thing lit. We don't even know if the exterior is going to be die-cast. We don't know what the hover conversion. It has power windows. I mean, is the hover conversion going to be power hover conversion? Like, will the vehicle power? Will it lift itself up? Will you put it on a stand and the wheels manual? Will the wheels
That'd
be
be pretty
motorized?
cool.
Yeah,
That
wouldn't
would
that
be
be
pretty
neat? I mean, they're
cool.
adding power windows. Why wouldn't you have the hover conversion be motorized, right?
So, what's Blitzway's weakest link when it comes to these vehicles? Because I know you said that the Afterlife had QC issues, and
It's every for the most part, every Blitzway product, it's always some silly, minute QC issue. Even the original Ecto 184 had QC issues.
Okay.
So I absolutely expect. I'm hoping it's trivial QC issues when it comes to the Blitzway DeLorean, meaning that okay, it's something that I can fix and repair. I'm not going to ship it back, right? Because depending on where you bought it from, right, they may not be generous with the shipping back. They're like, all right, well, we'll give you money back, but we're not going to eat up the shipping. I don't know if Big Bad Toy Store is generous. I doubt Spec will be generous, and buying it through Blitzway Global, I've never had to return anything, so I don't plan on crossing that bridge. But yeah, this is all the stuff that you have to consider. This is the whole point of this stream is, look, this is what me as a longtime 1/6 scale DeLorean fanatic, this is what's been going through my head. I'm prepared. I've been mentally, emotionally, physically prepared, because I've seen comments out there. Oh, it'll be an instant pre-order. It may not be that easy. I expect people to suffer sticker shock. I expect, collectors to have panic attacks on where to buy it. Price point. I mean, I think this is going to be a huge challenge for a lot of collectors.
Well,
And
collectors need to understand. Look at the past. Look at the Ecto 1 Afterlife.
yeah,
$1,900, and that's not even tax and shipping at that point. So
a lot of
and then-
collectors can't even, yeah. And then depending on the deposits are collected, are you prepared for a 2-year wait? Because I'm telling you, this is going to be a 2-year wait. The original Ecto 1, when it went into pre-order in 2017, it was delivered in 2020. That was a 2.5-year delivery from pre-order to delivery. And if they're over engineering this thing, you should absolutely expect a 2-year delivery. And you're like, well, what's the big deal? You should really consider the 2-year window, because things change for so many folks, and you really want to be prepared for that.
Personally, I think that's what will be like. If there's going to be a big ass QC issue with this DeLorean, it will be the over engineering of it.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that if it does suffer QC issues, that I can deal with it. I can fix it. I can deal with it and so forth. But again, these are going to be your best options, and hopefully this information, and me and Nate, we brought some insight to you folks out there and kind of prepared for that. And I think we've covered we covered everything about this, right, Nate? We covered distribution, price point, delivery window.
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping that Sideshow comes in, because when it comes to returns and QC issues, they're the best. They are the best. I've been buying from them for years, and I enjoy the process. If I have an issue with a figure, they either offer a replacement or offer a credit that you can use in your in your account or what have you. That's why I'm hoping that Sideshow does take this piece. But the thing is, for the past few years, they've only been doing freaking statues from Blitzway. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen here.
So when Sideshow was carrying the endoskeleton arm, do you remember that? The Blitzway? Blitzway made
Didn't you do a video on it?
Huh?
Didn't you do a video on it?
Yes, I still have mine. It's a fucking grail. The Blitzway endoskeleton T2 arm is a grail. Like, I shit you not. I'll pull it up on eBay just to like, but that arm had QC issues, and Sideshow did not have replacements. So Sideshow was like, look, you can return it. We'll give you your money back, but there's no replacement. Like, that was a very limited batch. Also, that endoskeleton arm, that also had a 2-year delivery window.
Ooh, 2-year delivery. Well, at least they offered to take it back.
Yeah. And then there's hindsight regret on it. The collectors, I'm like, it's how trivial were the QC issues? Was it something that you could have overlooked? Was it something that it wouldn't have been a big deal, right? But yeah, let me see. I mean, that the Blitzway. Let me see if I can find it here.
What I'm hoping with Blitzway is that when they mean diecast, I mean where diecast counts. Like the wheels got to be diecast. The joints for the wheels to create the hover conversion have to be diecast. We can't have another Hot Toys fumble with the joints and the wheels. Like, if they were cracking when people weren't even putting force into it. Hell, man, I may have cracked mines right now by just turning the wheels.
That's why I said. That's why I said, what if because there's going to be a video presentation on it, that the hover conversion is motorized and the wheels just and they light up. Like,
that video better be 10 minutes long at least.
If it does that, like, this is why I'm confident. Like, when you see that, you're going to look at your Hot Toys Mark II DeLorean as the poor cousin guaranteed. And it's just like, oh, the lighting is wrong. The hover conversion is, everything is just, you're going to look at it.
You be using your Hot Toys DeLorean as a doorstop.
I mean, right? But I mean, at that point, right? But look at this. Look at that. Just look at this. The folks that I mean, how look at the endoskeleton. This is the Blitzway Terminator arm.
Terminator.
Look at that. And it and the retail price was $1,400. I believe it was $1,400 for the Blitzway arm.
Yeah.
And look at this thing. Small batch. And I kept mine. Like, I love my T2 arm. It's one of my prize pieces. And even in this crappy market, so again, this is anticipating the future. That's why I said,
Futures.
Nate, that's why I said, if Sideshow does not carry the Blitzway DeLorean, this is what's going to happen right there. Right there. Boom. Right.
What was the original price on this?
This was $1,400.
$1,400. That's for a damn. Look at this resale value right up in here.
Yeah, look how many people are watching it. You know, praying for a miracle. 97 people watching. Why are you watching it? You know, you know, hoping for a Christmas. Like, why would you? But yeah, that's what Blitzway can do. That's what Blitzway can deliver. So, and I haven't been that distracted with Hot Toys, because I know there's been Hot Toy releases, right? I know that there's been stuff being but look at the stuff. We'll end it with Hot Toys recap here. Nothing just on this page alone, other than maybe the Red Hulk, nothing here excites me.
You don't like
Troopers.
Toon Troopers.
Mr. fucking Freeze. I mean,
you don't like Mr. Freeze? What killed the dinosaurs?
Not. I do not live in the Mandela effect timeline that I guess some collectors live in. This movie is garbage. $400, Nate. $400 for Mr. This is the one movie that gets picked on YouTube all the time. Every movie critic review always they do their friggin' thesis on Batman and Robin. This is the epitome of trash, Batman and Robin. And people are just, collectors are just lying to themselves. Like in denial, not lying. They're in this Mandela effect timeline. This is the best movie. Like, really? Really? This is no. This movie is that's what this movie is.
Danoby!
That's what this movie is. $400, Nate. Nate, $400 for Mr. Freeze. They're out of their damn mind.
They are out of their damn mind. $400.
$400
for Joe Schumacher.
Absolutely not.
Joe
and then
Schumacher.
most collectors sit on the So-So Toys, Dick and Toys Era and all. Didn't they make knockoff versions of this? And most collectors ended up selling for them.
Here's the thing, though. I feel that these knockoffs were pretty much they sold a writing on the wall with Hot Toys. Hot Toys was working on the Mr. Freeze, and they did their version before they released theirs. So they probably grabbed molds already, because I've heard people talking about how similar they are. So they probably grabbed molds, did what they can. It's not as it's not as detailed as what Hot Toys did here, or accuracy rise. But hey, with Hot Toys, if you were looking to pick this up from a third party, you might as well just waited. And this point,
did you see that this thing has 2 USB plugs?
Yep.
Did you see 2 power sources? I tell you what, I'll give myself, this is what's going to kill me about this specific figure. That's going to trigger me. I shit you not. This is the one thing that's going to trigger me about this figure, are the collectors that are going to take a photo of this thing not powered up, or display it in their fucking DTOFs not powered up, and I'm going to give myself a paper cut. After 90 days, I'm going to end up with 1,000 fucking paper cuts, because you're going to have idiots out there displaying this thing in their Batman collection not powered up. And there are certain characters that it is essential It's crucial for their image to be illuminated, to absolutely be new. It's one of the reasons why the Age of Ultron, the Hot Toys Ultron, when people were taking photos of it, they would take photos of it not powered up. That Ultron figure needed to be powered up. His eyes, you couldn't even see his eyes. And I look at this with his 2 USB plugs, and I go, most collectors don't even have a decent power infrastructure in their collection. And I can see them taking a photo of this thing not powered up, and I will absolutely cringe. I go, you get no, this thing. So 2 USB plugs. Most collectors aren't going to properly display this damn thing anyway. Why did Hot Toys do this? And then 2 SKUs. The shit sits. 2 SKUs. We needed 2 SKUs in this. 2 SKUs.
Gotta get the wings, bro. You gotta get the wings.
Did you pre-order this name?
No,
You pre-ordered?
No, I'm not pre-ordering it because I know I'm gonna get this for a freaking deal later. This is gonna be half the price later.
You're absolutely right.
I do, man. I play in the coupon game these days, man.
Yeah.
I've always been playing the coupon game. Like everybody dropping priced up figures at the very beginning. I'm like, well, these stay in stock, and I gobble up the 15%, 10% offs right there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'd rather wait. Now don't get me wrong, the exclusives and the bigger ticket items like the Hulk over there, the Red Hulk, that was a day one pre-order right there. I can't say no to the Red Hulk, Papa Hulk. I can't say no to that.
It does look good. This looks great.
Yes.
This looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're getting so for the same price or very similar to the same price point, I think this looks badass. I will never watch the movie. I won't punish myself like that, but
I'm pretty surprised you're not gonna go and take the Danoby challenge and USB power the hell out that Mr. Freeze in your collection.
It doesn't need it. It's already USB equipped, and there's 2. Yeah, so it doesn't need to be USB hacked. It's going to provide the 2 USB plugs.
Okay,
that's what it said. It has 2 separate USB plugs. My quip with that is that I still see collectors on social media display figures that have Hot Toys finally started implementing USB plugs, and you still have collectors out there that I guess live in Colombia or Costa Rica that still can't figure out how to bring power into their display case, and they share their photos. And I go, why would you share a photo of your Jedi or and not have the lightsaber illuminated? I see things like that. I look at that and I'm like, it's an expensive figure. You probably busted your ass to get it, and you're sharing a photo on social media with the rest of the world, and it's not powered up. It's like having your photo taken without makeup, right? Or if you're a girl, you're not putting on makeup.
Oh boy, Danoby.
Incomplete. It's an incomplete image. But that Mr. Freeze, it has the USB plugs, but I know collectors, the fact that it needs 2 USB power sources on it, are going to buy it, are going to share it online, and aren't probably going to have the damn thing illuminated. And it's just like, then why bother? Then why? I just look at that. But I've just been seeing a lot of that recently too. In the last month or so, I've just been.
I'm surprised you still watch other YouTubers.
Very, very seldom, but if anything, it's more on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm looking at the photos. That's what I'm looking at, right? And I get, like, if the Hot Toys requires button cells, like, to me that makes sense. It's not gonna be long, but there's a lot of Hot Toy characters out there that Hot Toys has gone. Hot Toys is, hey, you collectors out there bitched about the USB plugs. We've started to implement the plugs, and then the collectors are still sharing the photos of their USB equipped figures and aren't being powered on. And I don't want to call out any names, or any people, but it's just like, get off your lazy ass, man. You spent a lot of money on this figure. Power the fucking thing up. And that even goes to Jack Sparrow and that lantern. If you're going to have Jack Sparrow and you have that lantern in that shot, power the fucking thing up, please. You know,
Oh, that's right. Jack Sparrow, the newest one. The newest
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So Hot Toys is going above. I mean, they're trying to make an effort to power this stuff up. And I just, maybe collectors haven't adapted. Like, you got to figure that out. You got to bring in USB plugs, outlets, power the stuff up, put it on. I don't want to keep it on all the time. That's fine. Put it on a timer, put it on a remote control. Or, I mean, if anything, if you're going to take a photo of it, power it up, especially with the Jedis. It's the Jedis. Like they work so hard to have the Jedis powered up, right? Like, just respect it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why. That's something that's just recently triggered me too, Nate. I've just been seeing a lot of that. I'm just like, why you're spending so, like, it's hard. There's so much stuff to buy. There's so much stuff to pre-order. Like, it's so important to make the tough decisions right now. Like, there's just so much shit to buy. And why not help out your fellow man and showcase that figure in its proper glory?
You know,
Right?
Danoby, you could do like a tutorial for collectors, like how
Uh,
to properly power your lightsabers.
but you're not, but you don't, that's not the gripe though. I'm not griping that people need to learn how to USB hack. I'm bitching that the newer Hot Toys, the newer Jedis that are coming out have USB access, and collectors are still lazy as shit and taking photos of it and not powering them up. That's like, I don't expect everybody to have the USB hacking skills I do. Now, I get that. That's not right. But Hot Toys has they're going above and beyond. I mean, they're charging you for this technology, right? It's reflected in their price point, and you want to share it with the world, right? And and you want to help your fellow man make a decision whether or not this figure's worth buying, right? Don't take the photo inside the DTOF and it's not even powered on, especially if it's a Jedi. Like the last fucking Jedis, right? Like Revan, like Star Killer, right? Oh, yeah, I love my Star Killer. Cool. I love to see what that lightsaber glow does, on his, if you had the lightsaber holding him against face, that'd be kind of cool. See what it looks like. So, but what do we have here? Looks good. The movie was one of the most boring. You're referring to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Captain America. Yeah, I don't ever plan on seeing this movie, but I do plan. I'm very heavily leaning towards the Red Hulk. Absolutely. I'll make there's a couple Hot Toys that I do need to pre-order, but I'm waiting for the grand. I'm waiting for the.
What's on your list of pre-orders?
I can tell you right now, the Red Hulk. I have not pre-ordered the Red Hulk. Yes, I don't. The Red Hulk is one of them. Pass on the Toon Trooper. Pass on Mr. Freeze. I don't give a shit about the TIE Fighter pilot. Nope.
Really? Oh, that's original trilogy TIE Fighter pilot right there.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. No. No. TIE Fighter pilot, no. No. Will Hot Toys make a 1/6 scale TIE Fighter? Then you know what? I'd be interested. Because I like the grandeur. I like the epicness. But to have a TIE Fighter, no. I'm clone troop. I have a ton of troopers. I promise you.
Trooper out.
I'm very troopered out. And so when it comes to stormtroopers, clone troopers, just troopers, I've gone into heavy conservative mode. And the TIE Fighter pilot, no. No, I'm sorry. TIE Fighter pilot, no. Now, there's a Death Star guy or a gunner or there's a Death Star dude that has a panel.
The panels.
Yeah. I love sets. That to me would tip me over. I like sets that light up and interact. So the Death Star gunner, I would get that because that to me, like that whole sequence. But the pilot here holding a pistol, no, that's an easy pass. That's 100% an easy pass for me. There's nothing exciting. I mean, like I saw that it was, and I mean, I lost interest after 2 minutes. You know, it was that's what it was. Whatever. The Deadpool Wolverine movie, I made it abundantly clear on this one. I only need Ultimate Wolverine, and that's it.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about these random cameos. I don't care about Old Man Blade. Nope. Not for what? $330, $340. Is it $290? So ship it and tax. You're looking at $340. No. He needs to. What he needs to do is go pay his taxes. No, I don't. No.
They've been coming after him since 1998.
Yeah. So there's a couple pre-orders again that I'm going to pre-order, but I don't, because I have to wait to see what the damage is going to be for the Blitzway DeLorean.
So Danoby, what was your no pre-order purchase?
I never broke my no-nut pre-order pledge.
Oh crap! So the DeLorean Mark II from Blitzway is going to be your no-nut pre-order. That's going to be your first. That's going to be the first one.
So as far as now, I've been spending. Like I said, I just bought the Mark VI. I've been buying shit, but it's what's been killing me, because I have a spreadsheet, is paint is locking myself into a pre-order. Like I'm losing my mind that I go in my spreadsheet and I have 2-year-old pre-orders. Like that is just, I'm short circuiting. Like I hate that crap. Like if I see something, I want to buy it now. Like the Mark VI quarter scale, I found a good deal for it. I was able to get it below retail, and I bought it. I did not pre-order the Mark VI quarter scale. I was on the hunt. I saw the deal. Boom. I kind of would love, like I'm still going to pre-order, but I would really prefer if 75% of my purchases were chase hunts and instant buys, and then my pre-orders are probably about 25% for the year. I want to minimize it because I run into trouble when my pre-order spreadsheet is way too big, because I don't just buy Hot Toys. I leave cushions for HasLabs. What if there's an epic HasLab down the road? What if a perfect example, the Tomy Enterprise A, that was a big purchase.
Tomy,
that showed up within a 30-day window. Within 30 days, as a toy collector, I needed to decide if I wanted to. How much was that? Was that like an $800 buy? Like,
I think you kept saying that it was something between
let me see what
700, 800, something like that.
It was. I
think you bought 3 of those, right?
I ended up, yes, $800. $800, and then I backed 3 of them because it's going to be. I mean, I made a killing on the Tomy Enterprise one, so things like that. So I need that bigger payment cushion, because if Tomy decides to do another Star Trek ship, because they only give the community anywhere between a 30 to 60 day notice. Like within 60 days, you need to decide whether or not you're going to spend $800, and full payment is collected. It's not like sideshows where you only collect 10% and then you can kind of jack off and forget about it. Like I'm used to making tough decisions. Like you got to make the tough decision now. Do you want to back this? You have 60 days, full payment. The DeLorean Blitzway, it's going to be just like that. You can't sit on it. You can't skirt. You can't tap dance. You can't tap dance your way out of it. You can't, I don't have any space. No, then get off. The Hot Toys DeLorean's for you then. Back away. The big boy's here. We want to play so you have to make that decision. And because I've shrunk, like I did fucking good. Like I had a ton of fucking pre-orders. My no-nut pre-order pledge, I did good. And now, because I did so good practicing, right? Practicing the code that Harry taught me. You practice the code that Harry teaches you, you can strive for the bigger, grander things.
Pirates code.
Not the pirates code, the code of Harry. Stick to the code. As Harry taught you. And let me see if someone figures out. 50 points if anybody figures out that reference. 50 points. Follow the code as Harry taught you. And so that was what I, while everybody else was all these shiny little trinkets and stuff like that during, all these announcements. Like, no, man, I am Captain Ahab, right? I'm Captain Ahab. I'm going for the big one. Well, everybody else is fishing for the minnows. I go, the Blitzway Delorean is going to be huge. It's going to be friggin' huge. So there you go. I knew somebody was going to get it. I knew somebody out there was going to get the code. I knew. I was like, come on, there has to be somebody out here. I knew it. When Dexter doesn't follow the code, he gets his ass into trouble. Plain and simple. You guys know it. There it is. Everybody knows it. When you don't follow the code, you get yourself, every time Dexter doesn't follow the code, he gets himself into trouble. And I stuck with it. I knew that this thing was coming out. I knew that it was going to be, I knew it was going to be pricey. You saw the survey I did at the beginning of this live stream. Everybody was like, it'll be $1,800. Like, oh, you cats aren't ready for the future. If you think this thing is going to be $1,800,
futurists, gentlemen, the futurists,
you're not ready for it. You're not ready for it. I love Hot Toys, but Nate, you and I talked about this. Sideshow, Hot Toy Sideshow, they're trending close to 150 pre-orders, folks. Folks, Hot Toys is trending close to 150 pre-orders, and they're using Hollywood accounting to really hide the true number. Because here's the kicker. They're not
Hollywood.
They're using Hollywood accounting because they're not counting all that's on waitlist. They're not counting the 2 SKUs from the Artisan Winter Soldier.
They're inflating the numbers. What happened with Captain America Captain America Brave New World.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like there's so much there's so much stuff that's on waitlist on Sideshow from Hot Toys. Like, logically, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make, like, it's close to 150 pre-orders, and there's been so much. It's been very overwhelming for me following this stuff. And so what that's forced me to do, Nate, is that I have to be extra picky now. I can't be razzle-dazzled.
Razzle and dazzling.
I can't be razzle-dazzled by every new Hot Toys announcement. Really? You want me to get excited over a Toon Trooper? Really? This is what you... No. I'm better than that. No.
I'm better than that.
No. I haven't come as far as I have for distractions like this. No. And what does Hot Toys do? Oh, let's travel back 12 years into the past. Let's go back to 2010. No, I'm better than that. I don't need this. No. A T800. No. I'm tired of the over milking of not just the Terminator IP, but specifically T2. I'm done. It's been over milked, and
it is a fan favorite.
I don't turn a blind eye towards Terminator Dark Fate. I do not turn a blind eye towards Terminator Genesis. I don't turn a blind eye towards Terminator Salvation. The Terminator IP has been one shitty hot fucking mess. And so everybody keeps going back to T2. No, I got my endoskeleton arm. my Blitzway endoskeleton arm.
Uh-huh,
Now, if
uh-huh.
Hot Toys decides to do a die-cast endoskeleton, cool. I love robots. I love droids. I'm a sucker for droids. I'm a sucker for robots, but I don't need a real leather art. No. I don't need a Sarah Connor. I don't need a John Connor. I don't need a T1000. No, to me, that's go for the prize. Go for the prize. And then Hot Toys has just been expanding their IPs, and a lot of their IPs, I just honestly don't have any genuine interest.
Kindergarten Cop.
I mean, are you interested in this, Nate?
No, I didn't grow up with Kamen Rider. I grew up with Power Rangers.
Right. So,
yeah,
I'm very well aware that this is a huge property in Asia. I get it, but as an American collector, I can give two rats ass shit about this. This isn't fine. It looks cool, but it's not for me. Same thing for Squid Games. You know, like I enjoy the Squid Game series, but I don't need a Squid Game figure. No. Seong Ching Hoon, like, no, I don't need this. It looks great, but not for $300. No, I would for $300. I would rather participate in the Squid Game. No. You know, I'll cut out the cookie. For $300 pre-order treat. They're out of their mind. Nate, what is going on? This is, you know, and then, you know, I'm sorry. This is an easy pass. You are a sidekick. You need to go back to being a sidekick. No. Captain America, no.
That Anthony Mackie Haskell was really good though.
No. He needs to put the helmet back on. No. He needs to I just saw him in a movie. Elevation. You know? Elevation, it's on Max, where the creatures can't descend above it's okay. It's a fine movie. It's fine. And look, and I respect that. I watch a lot of Tokusatsu. I was hyped for them, and I totally get it. Like, there are fans who love this. I totally get it. I mean, but Hot Toys has been, Nate, they've been out of control with these announcements, haven't they?
They have. Why am I hearing myself, Danoby?
So yeah, I can't get excited every minute anymore because they've essentially oversaturated their pre-order announcements. Like, you know. So I need.
Are you interested in a 007? Let's talk about grandeur here. Are you considering 007 line?
That's going to be a maybe. It depends on where they're going to go with James Bond, right? Are they going to go with Roger Moore, and are they going to go with him and Jaws, right? Right? Have, you know, or are they going to go with Timothy Dalton, or are they going to go with right? It depends on which.
Are you a fan of Sean Connery?
Not for what they're going to charge. No. No. Right? But I'll do, I mean, if they do a good Roger Moore, right? Like a Moonraker in a spacesuit. Ooh, you got me.
Ooh, now we talking to Danoby, you know, right there.
As a kid, I grew up with Roger Moore. You know, or if Hot Toys decides to do a 1/6 scale Lotus vehicle that turns into the submarine, the Roger Moore, right?
Yep. I always, my Moonraker was always my favorite from the classics because it got the space element. I was big on space because, you know, Star Wars and what have you. Then got Moonraker. So not the best villain, of course, but it's the science fiction properties that came.
I can tell you, out of all the James Bonds, the actor, the most toyetic James Bond is going to be Roger Moore. He had like the fun, whimsical gadgets, the vehicle, Moonraker. He had the wacky villain Jaws with the steel teeth.
The White Lotus would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have, who's the current one that just retired?
Daniel Craig.
He's boring. He's not.
He was better in Casino Royale. And
he's not very toyetic. Yeah. So again, that's, you know, James Bond is going to be, it's going to be a very at least for me, very, very iffy. Very iffy. So I don't know where they're going to go with it. But I tell you what, though, if they made the submarine car, the Lotus Esprit, 1/6 scale, that's an easy pre-order for me. That's a day one pre-order for me right there. So
They could do they could do the Aston Martin with Sean Connery.
they could. But here's the question. Are collectors going to buy it? You can say they're going to buy it.
Well, that's the same situation when they say they're going to buy the DeLorean Blitzway.
No. Don't compare the Aston Martin to the DeLorean. One car is toyetic, the other one is not. The other one is just a classic sports car. 1950s or 60s sports car. Very, very different. And that generation that grew up with watching that movie with Sean Connery, they're either in hospice or dead. So
oh my God.
So all right. So it's a beautiful car, the Aston Martin, but it's not very toyetic. What? An ejector seat? That's a big snooze, right? The Lotus,
Injectocito, cuz
the Lotus Esprit, that can transform from a vehicle to a submarine, that has toyetic appeal. Kit from Knight Rider, that has toyetic appeal. The Batmobile 1966 that Hot Toys teased multiple times, that has toyetic appeal, and that generation is still alive, right? So again, when it comes to James Bond, it really ultimately depends what era and where they're going with it. If they want it, they want my money. It's not that you just have to make the stuff. It'd
be a nice display though when if they do drop it big, like a Aston Martin with a Sean Connery at the whatever summer showcase event they're doing. It'd be pretty cool if they just dropped the vehicle right there just for display purposes. Like, okay, that's something they could pull off. But the White Lotus, though, if I had to choose between the Aston Martin and the White Lotus, I would go with the White Lotus.
The problem is that Hot Toys isn't the first company to do licensed James Bond figures. In fact, Big Chief Studios did it, and they filed bankruptcy. They went bankrupt. They went belly up. Remember Big Chief Studios? They did James Bond figures. They didn't sell that very well. I know. I was there. Gandalf, I was there. 3,000. I remember. People tend to forget this shit. You forgot it already, didn't you? You already purged
I'm aware
it out.
there was other companies that did
Big Chief Studios did James Bond figures, and nobody fucking bought them.
I was considering it, but then after seeing all the reviews, I was not a big fan, especially with the price point. So this is going to be very expensive because of the licensing. This 007 is going to be.
That's why you want to make shit. That's why if it's an expensive license, then you want to make stuff that people are going to buy. So a 1/6 scale Aston Martin. Collectors
they were asking for so Big Chief Studio. Remember, they were asking for like literally an Iron Man figure for a Sean Connery. So I'm like, probably going to be the same price point with Hot Toys.
I mean, how much do you love Sean Connery? I mean, I don't care. I don't really care. Look, I'm not going to make space for James Bond. James Bond. I'm very finicky. I grew up with Roger Moore, and I'm telling you, I don't. If I knew that we were going to talk about this, I would have done the research, and I would have pulled up my the photos and show you that the most toyetic James Bond is going to be Roger Moore. Daniel Craig is boring as shit. Maybe Pierce Brosnan from GoldenEye, because he had some really cool gadgets, and he had the vehicle. Sean Connery, everybody goes back to the Aston Martin, but again, right? you can't compare the Aston Martin to the DeLorean, right? It's zeitgeist. It's popularity. It's what lives in people's minds that are still alive, unfortunately.
if
Right?
if they make it Austin Powers, then now we're talking.
Yeah. We have not gotten to the 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith toys. Eric, are you referring to any announcements, or because I don't want them right now to make any announcements? I'm kind of enjoying the break.
Well, you're gonna get a break. That break is gonna be over. You know when? May the
When?
4th.
Oh, that's right.
May the 4th.
All right.
Come on now.
All right. So we got James Bond. We talked about, and then again, I applaud Hot Toys for expanding their IP, but like with the League of Legends, I don't follow any of this, so I have
Me
I
neither.
have no real opinion on it.
I don't mind the show. I think the show was fun.
Yeah.
But it didn't push me to pre-order those figures.
Yeah. And then Darth Malgus, that's a pass. Nice pull. All these like clone troopers that they keep just clone and copy. They copy and paste, copy and paste. I like no. Range trooper, no.
You know, like the magnetized boots?
Absolutely not. Nope. And then the Iron Patriot, I passed on it. Like I've just, and then
no
the
Captain
Xenomorph.
Wepa for you? There,
What's that?
Lord. No Captain Wepa?
Nope, not
The
that
Wepa
one.
Patriot?
Maybe if it ends, well, it hasn't even been released yet. See, this is what I'm talking about. Where the Iron Patriot says the wait list is open, but this is still an active pre-order that has not delivered, and it's not being counted.
I think people are getting their notifications, shipping notifications for this.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Can anybody who pre-ordered in the comments, because I was not aware. But
I've gotten the pre-order.
Oh, did you get the did you pre-order him?
Yeah, I did, and I got the shipping notification for him, 3 weeks ago.
Okay,
so
but
they just started. They just started shipping these out.
Okay. So you have him, and then like Hot Toys is just all over the place. Like now we're going back to Xenomorphs. I'm like, I'm not touching Terminator, and I'm absolutely not.
Hot Toys. Remember, Danoby, Hot Toys is going for the new blood.
That's fine.
That have not been here since.
That's perfect. Like yeah, so. And that is cool that there are fans. Like I'm not like, if you loved Aliens and you love the Terminator, like you, unfortunately, because we're trending close to 150 pre-orders, you have to pick your battle.
Because I agree with you on that. That Hot Toys needs to really slow down and how many releases they have. Not even releases, pre-orders they put out every year, because then we start getting into the situation with QC issues. Like, don't get me wrong, Hot Toys are better with their QC issues than others, right? But the problem is, like, in order to mitigate keep the balance, I feel that they had to go back to formula. They got to go back to 50 to 100 pre-orders a year versus doing 100 and 150 pre-orders a year. That 100 and 150 pre-orders, you see a lot more shortcuts. You see a lot more like, oh, hey, you know what? We ain't going to put 100% on this one figure. Let's do 75 and 50%. You know, we've seen what happens.
Mm-hmm. So except for Iron Man, they never cut corners for Iron Man though, and for certain characters are protected above QC. But if they're not going to throttle their pre-order announcements, then I'm gonna step up my conservative filter pickiness, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be extra super picky, because as much as I love Hot Toys, again, I have to keep my options open for other companies. Like I mentioned Tomy, Blitzway, etc., HasLab. So I have to be very dismissive. And again, a lot of these characters, there's nothing wrong with them. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Xenomorph. But for me personally, in my collection, the way I'm managing it, I'm absolutely not going down the Aliens road. I'm absolutely not going down the T2 road. Nope. Deadpool and Wolverine, like the X-23, it looks great. It looks just like her, but nope, not for me. So it's just got to be extra picky. You got to be like the T1000, like this, like no. Like it looks great, but I'm not going down that path. And there's a lot, man. There's like this is what I'm talking about. The Harley Quinn Artisan Edition, where it's waitlist. They count it as a waitlist and they don't count it as an active pre-order. My thing is, I still see it as an active pre-order until collectors commit to the invoice. And every time when an artisan starts to ship and the invoices go out, just a small fraction of collectors just don't commit. So it's interesting how they're doing this Hollywood accounting when it comes to which
Hollywood account.
What's active and what's gone and so forth. I'm like, so well, look at that. But you know it's crazy that Chewbacca and disassembled C-3PO is still available. That's crazy.
I think the pre-orders did very well with that one. That's why they kept it open.
Yeah,
pre-orders are doing very well, so they kept the factories rolling on that one.
General Grievous pre-order is still available. Like, look at that.
I'm
like,
feeling that they're doing very well with that one too. So
yeah, like that's bonkers. Like, are they doing well or they're just not getting enough pre-orders?
Because the thing is, look at Kidpool. It just hit low stock.
But wasn't that an instant ship though? Wasn't an instant ready Kidpool? Right? That was an instant.
Yeah, with Lady Pool, right?
Yeah,
yeah. All the pretty much all
and
the
Lady
pools.
Pool. Yeah, that was like a 30-day ship notice
Yeah,
from
you're
the
right.
pre-order. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, but yet you have two.
Oh, that's okay. See, I think the 92 Batman now is hitting low stock, so now many people are pre-ordering it.
Well, there's too many damn Batmans, right? And we're entering the James Gunn universe, so we're gonna have another new Batman. So even for the character IP Batman, you have to be super nitpicky. You have to really decide on which like how many Keatons do you really need?
All of them. Right? All of them.
I guess. Well, then you're
everyone.
Hey, if you can swing it, that means you have to. If you're gonna go for the Keatons, that means you have to sacrifice on the other end. You may not be able to get an Iron Man figure. You may not be able to get this. So it's just staying with your lane, not driving off the bridge and being able to get. But yeah, like for Batman, like no, I have one Michael Keaton. It's the one of the gargoyle. It's behind me. That's all I need. That's just no, not for. And then like the George Clooney Batman, like I don't need a Jordan. Like no, Joel Schumacher. God no, I don't want any of that nonsense, man. I don't want
Brother Ew.
Yeah, Brother Ew. That's exactly what it is. Yeah,
Joe Schumacher, man. Yep. It got to the point where after what happened with Love and Thunder, they call that the Joe Schumacher.
Yeah, it's a mess, man. It's just a friggin' mess. Where is the? I haven't pre-ordered Grievous yet. I need to do that.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah,
I think I have it on pre-order.
And then 4 SKUs for Battle Damage Vader. Like, damn.
Oh, that one hit low stock too. One of them.
Yeah. And what else? There's quite a.
Did you pre-order your Droidicas?
Yep, that was a day one pre-order. I pre-ordered 2 of those, the Droidicas.
Where are the Droidicas?
Yeah, and then
are you gonna go heavy on the Revenge of the Sith line? If they do any 20th anniversary stuff?
Why would they do that? I mean,
the Jedi Starfighter might be on the table.
Can you imagine?
So let me do the math here. Let me see. How
do you think
is it?
Pause. Do you think Howard Chan would get jealous that the Blitzway Delorean is going to be an epic Grail piece, and then he's going to get bent out of shape and just throw out the Jedi Starfighter just to stay relevant? Wouldn't that be wild?
That would, dude.
Wouldn't that be wild if Howard Chan is on that 87th floor with his 2 side chicks smoking that cigarette, and he's like, "We should put out the Jedi Starfighter." That, I mean, just because of the Blitzway Delorean is gonna. You guys can tell I am so freaking biased against this DeLorean. I would give my soul. What do you? I'd be like Anakin and the Emperor with the Blitzway DeLorean. What is it that you command of me? But there's quite I mean, there's quite a few here that I still need to pre-order the Red Hulk. I still need to pre-order. What the hell? I passed it. There was something.
Okay, so all right, let me see.
Oh, the 2.0 right here. Oh, the 2.0 Mark 42. I love these 2.0s where they're going back and fixing this stuff. The 2.0,
Mhm.
I've done the Grievous. So there's quite a few figures that I actually do need to genuinely add into my pre-order spreadsheet. But again, the brakes are paused because I anticipate getting wrecked by the Blitzway Delorean.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what, Eric, I absolutely agree with you on this. I still think that the N1 will still be up. I have not given up hope for this. Absolutely. Again, competitors, they may get jealous. Maybe Hot Toys may get jealous. I mean, technically, they did cancel a vehicle. Hot Toys did cut out of that pre-order for that Bat Missile, didn't they?
Yep, they did.
They did, yeah.
Mhm.
So they still kind of owe us a vehicle. Nobody pre-ordered the Bat Missile, so I mean, I would back the N1 fighter.
I would.
I would also back the Jedi Starfighter. That's right, May the 4th. I mean, the Revenge of the Sith anniversary. So I just, other than the Starfighter, I don't know what other characters they can entice me with because they got the Droidicas, right?
Mhm.
Oh, you know what? That ATRT with the camo version. I can
Yeah.
see them doing that for the Revenge of
With
the
light up features because they
with
did
light up
introduce light.
features. Yeah, I can see them doing that. Maybe a new Emperor with the floating uh from the Senate, the Emperor and the floating Senate vehicle. That'd be badass, wouldn't it?
Yep.
That would be badass. I would get that shit. I love props and dioramas and vehicles. That would be a day one pre-order. If you can get the Emperor with the floating set with the chair and then have like Yoda spinning. Oh my god, that'd be freaking awesome. That would be cool.
Yes.
The floating Senate is a chair vehicle. It's like a mobile device. It's like a
So
handicap.
Danoby, I did the math. The closest thing to lengthwise to a Jedi Starfighter from Revenge of the Sith
Mhm.
is the Hot Toys 1989 Batmobile.
That was the last vehicle.
No, that's the closest length.
Oh, I see.
So, the Batmobile is about 20 feet long, and the Jedi Starfighter is 18 feet. So divide by 6, you got 3 feet. So
So
that's
that'd be 26. Wouldn't that be 12? Use a calculator. The Jedi Starfighter is gonna be big. It's gonna be very. We doing this right? Are you doing the?
it's going to be big. But the thing is, that's the closest is the
Oh, I see.
89
I see.
Batmobile. You see what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the closest.
It should be over 30 inches in length. 35,
Yes.
if anything.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It'll be huge. It'll be huge. Maybe they feel that the market won't
Now,
hold it. So
here's the problem though. Is the width. It's going to be as wide, at least like the tumbler. So you know how wide that tumbler is. You can't even fit that. You can't even fit that on a proper display case, unless you got the module cases. So it's probably going to be as wide as a tumbler, but as long as the 89 Batmobile. So there's a possibility that we can see this as a pre-order. If they were able to do it for the 89 Batmobile, come on, it's a possibility.
I'm for it. I am for it. The Death Star Trooper and detention cell. This right here. This is an old one though. This has been for quite a while, right? The Death Star is like 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah, I would get that. This to me is really. I like this whole setup. This would be really, really cool.
Yeah, if they throw this in, it would be nice if they throw in a Tarkin 2.0. That would be nice. Just help sales. Yeah.
Yeah. Another Loki with this. Oh, this is from Avengers. The Loki. Why would they tease another?
With the throne. Loki with the throne.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. I love Loki as a character, but I'm not excited for that. That wouldn't do it. And then The R5D4. I don't know why this guy's still here. We've already gotten him.
That was from Mandalorian season 3.
Okay.
That was one
Yeah.
with the droid,
Okay.
the mouse droid hitting him. Bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam. Yep.
Okay, and then Drax, I don't. That's a pass. Spider-Gwen, another. I don't know about Spider-Gwen. Like, there's a lot of characters here that's coming soon. Like, I just don't see how the community would be excited for like another Grogu. First one set forever. The
Yeah, I
M1
got
fighter
that
would.
for like 10% off
Yeah, I mean, it just.
or 20% off. I can't remember. I know I
Yeah.
got it for a percentage off.
I'm waiting for this guy, quarter scale. I'm going through a quarter scale kick. So the Mark II quarter
Oh, that's
scale.
happening. That is happening.
That's absolutely, yeah. They've always, the thing with Hot Toys and the quarter scales, they've always been slow. It's like if you're lucky to get one quarter scale announcement of an Iron Man per year, if that.
It goes to show that their market, as far as like collectors that do collect the quarter scales from Hot Toys, is very small when it comes to progress and pay. Pretty much more collectors are willing to pay for 1/6 scales than quarter scales. So
Eric, that's easy money. Like, I don't know what they're waiting for. So regular, I mean, they can do classic Jabba the Hutt from Return of the Jedi. They can do special edition Jabba the Hutt. Collectors would buy them. So this is Jabba the Hutt's one of those characters, kind of like Han Solo and C-3PO. Like, what is Hot Toys waiting for? So that should be easy money. Return of the Jedi C-3PO, instant sold out. I mean.
Oh yeah, I have him right here.
You
actually see him right here.
Yeah,
right next to R2D2. Yeah.
MODOK. Yeah, like they need to clean this up. Like MODOK, that's such a joke. Like, why would you like? There's characters here. Like, it just doesn't like the fans have moved on.
Oh, the Jedi Star, the Naboo Starfighter, right? And the N1.
Yeah,
beautiful.
The Batcave computer diorama would sell. I do believe in this one. I love sets, and if they would release the Bat computer, I would be tempted to buy another Keaton just to have him with this one. Be honest with you, I would. Like, shit like this, I love. Sets and stuff that can accent a figure would force me to buy. So, like I told you in the beginning, I don't need another Keaton. But if you release the Batcave computer, I'd be tempted to. I'd be more inclined to. So this is the stuff where I feel like they just dropped the ball on some of this stuff. The quarter scale Spider-Mans do pretty well. Again, quarter scales are different. And then there's some old shit here. Jedi Starfighter still there.
Yep.
Battle droid, that's easy money. Droids are always going to do really, really well. And then they need to clean this out. Somebody needs to log in and like Jan Rog and Captain Marvel from Star Force. No one's going to buy those two.
They've been going back into the well and bringing out some coming soons. Like the Range Trooper, he was a coming soon. They brought him out. Well, the Range Trooper was a coming soon.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He was.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they've been going back into the well.
Yeah, they need to clean out some of this though. They need to clean house delete some of this
clean
stuff.
House.
Yeah, I would say maybe 25% of these announcements here, I'm very, very interested. The rest of them can just be thrown in the trash. Like a Baron Zemo. Like, no. I don't.
Zemo.
Yeah.
Zemo. Come on now.
Snow Trooper is one of the ones that people have been waiting for a while, haven't they?
Not this one, though. We've been waiting for the Snow Trooper from Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, this is Rise of Skywalker. Oh, yeah. People are not going to buy this one.
Trash.
It's Empire Strikes Back, not this one. You're right.
Empire Strikes Back Snow Trooper. Like they released one for Empire. They released one for the video game Battlefront 2, and then nothing else. They've been they've been waiting for another one because the resale prices on those are ridiculous. Like you could sell that and pay pretty much a fraction of the DeLorean from Blitzway at that point.
Oh. All right, I think we've covered just about everything, right, Nate? Did we miss anything? I don't think we did we?
Nope. Unless you want to talk about possible Lilo and Stitch life-size Hot Toys figure.
Oh, that'd be cool.
With the
that would be neat. Yeah.
If they did the Grogu, they could do a life-size version of Lilo and Stitch.
That's money in the bank. Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. I
My
get it. I love
daughter, yeah, I would get it, but my daughter would want to steal. I would want it in my Disney collection. If she
it.
saw that, she would ransack it. She would take it in her room. I would lose it. I would lose custody over that.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, a custody battle. No.
Yeah, she has a Stitch collection in her room when she was a she still kept it, and if Hot Toys did like a high-end version like they did a high-end version of Winnie the Pooh where it was just really good quality. Like if they did something like
I
that,
remember that. It's
oh dude, that's money in the
I think
bank.
you
Oh,
told me that one was like a special pre-order you couldn't get.
yeah, it wasn't available in the US. And yeah, that would be a Stitch, like a Hot Toys, like a high-end version. That would be good. I'm with you on this one too. They need to make up their fucking mind on the Vulture. Clean it
Oh
up.
my god, yes.
Yeah,
Like
I'm over it.
you know what they need to do? Someone tell Juice to release re-release the Vulture again, and then have to probably coming out the woodwork.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the used version, if the jazzing version can fly though. That thing takes off, it might crash. But Hot Toys need to clean house. They need to decide whether or not they need to because I'm over that. Like, are you gonna make it or not? If not, then delete it. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't know why they're taking so long with that particular one. They teased it twice. They showed
Uh-huh.
it off multiple times at events.
They even teased the Batmobile, the 2022 Robert Pattinson one. And it's interesting. That's not in the coming soon page. All they did was
I
tease it.
I think the Robert Pattinson Batmobile, I think, is more of an issue with WB not knowing what they want to do because they keep pushing back the damn freaking movie, the
Mm,
sequel. I think that's WB's fault
yeah.
because they could have released that vehicle. Like, there's nothing special about that vehicle other than you know having that sports car, muscle car look to it,
I'll
and
bet
that's
you I'll
about
bet
it.
you the one and done. I'll bet you that we're not gonna get the sequel. They don't even have a script yet. They haven't done anything. All they keep telling the fans that it's coming. There's no script, there's no green lit. And today on YouTube, I saw that there was a shakeup in management with the DCEU already, with something that James Gunn lost his partner or something. So there was a high end shakeup because several of their movies have lost money. I'm telling you right now, the Robert Pattinson Batmobile of the Bat movie it's one and done. I don't think we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Their current films right now have lost a lot of money. Mickey 17 and there was the Joker 2 was the biggest blow to
Oh
Warner Brothers.
boy.
Yeah, they're going to be paying the price for
Dude,
that.
that blow pause echoed like the
Yeah,
freaking Death Star echoed
yeah,
throughout the galaxy to the point where collectors were even canceling not the
yeah,
artisan version of Joker, but their NR four
yeah.
pack, 3-pack, two. They were asking whether or not they'd be able to get their NRDs from Kit if they canceled their Joker 4-pack, 2-pack, 3-packs. Good
Mhm.
luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the poor Warner Brothers and the DC universe. It's been a crappy mess. It really has. And they keep, like I said, there's no script, there's no greenlit, there's no nothing. All they keep saying we're gonna get it, and it's been what year five or it's been what three years or which we've been 3 years. When did the Robert Pattinson movie come out? It was in 2022, right?
Yeah.
So we're 3 years with nothing. So even if they started production, it would still be maybe another year, maybe two before it gets released. So there's nothing. And now with the shakeup in the studio, I would not hold my breath. I think that universe is one and done, and they're gonna need to wrap everything up into the James Gunn universe. So we're gonna get. I mean, he's introducing a new Batman. I mean, how many
Yep.
Batmans do we freaking need? Just keep it simple, man. They're overcomplicating things. Keep it simple. Let's just accept the new Batman that James Gunn is going to give us and move on with our lives. And just it's too much. It's way too much. And then by that point, we're going to be entering Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War, and
Yep.
that's not that film is gonna it's gonna dominate the theaters during that time span. So no one's
That
gonna really,
line, that line is going to rival that Hot Toys line is going to rival that of Endgame.
yeah,
As far
I'm
as,
ready
like,
for that
action
line.
figures.
Yeah, that line's gonna be brutal because I'm gonna if the movies are good, I am gonna want a lot of those characters. So again, that's prepping for the future right there because that's gonna be brutal. They're talking about 50 characters in Avengers Doomsday. I'm like, God damn, they're just gonna tear us apart.
Mhm.
They're just gonna
Yep.
they're gonna teach us a lesson there. Is what a mess, what a mess. But that's a few years down the road. So, yeah, it's gonna be. I think I'm done. It's been a good stream. Been nice catching up with you, wonderful folks out there.
2 hours and 15, not
Yeah,
bad, Danoby, not bad.
yeah, and thank you, wonderful folks out there, for indulging me in my love of Blitzway Delorean because I could talk about that forever, which I will after the 20th. We'll have a part 2 to this. This is, the purpose of this stream was to prepare you folks out there. But the storm is coming, boys. This is going to be, it's like a hurricane.
Hurricane.
This is going to be a hurricane. Yeah, 100%. How do I get this? Clean out the vulture. And how do I end this, Nate?